Now, if you love Optimal Work Daily, a great podcast to pair it with is the Hustle Daily Show, part of the HubSpot podcast network and the audio destination for business builders. The Hustle Daily Show provides your daily dose of business, tech, news, and original stories to keep you in the loop on what's trending in business so you can use this information to help your own company succeed. The Hustle Daily Show's team of writers break down the biggest business headlines in 10 minutes or less, just like we do here, and explain why you should care about them. They'll also do deep dives on topics like a man who won the lottery 14 times and why it's nearly impossible to buy an original Bob Ross painting. I checked out a few episodes of the Hustle Daily Show, and to me, it felt like one of the most fun and streamlined ways possible to get the information you need to stay up to date on current business trends. So be sure to search for the Hustle Daily Show wherever you get your podcasts.
This episode is brought to you by Michigan Economic Development Corporation. In Michigan, you can have both a rewarding career and a quality lifestyle, with plentiful career opportunities in world-changing, innovating industries, from electric vehicles to clean energy to biotech, with room for advancement no matter where you are in your career. Plus, Michigan offers a welcoming, beautiful, affordable, and inclusive community for all. Live your best life. You can in Michigan. Visit themichiganlife.org.
This is Optimal Work Daily, episode 1154. Is Your Salary an Unhealthy Addiction? By Craig Stevens of retirebeforedad.com. And hey again, I am Dan. I'm your host and narrator here, reading these great blog posts to you every single day of the year. And let's get to it now as we hear from Craig Stevens and optimize your life. Is Your Salary an Unhealthy Addiction? By Craig Stevens of retirebeforedad.com. I'm grateful to work for a high-quality employer that appreciates my contributions and pays me a reliable paycheck 26 times a year. The retirement plan is the best I've seen anywhere. The healthcare plan is first-rate. Our family never worries about coverage or costs. It's challenging work, and I occasionally even feel like I'm making a difference in the world. But sometimes I question if full-time employment is right for me today. Maybe I'd be better off if I never went back to work after losing my job in October 2017. When I lost my job, I had enough savings and side business income to sustain our family for months, maybe a few years. I used the opportunity to enjoy some time away from the office, spending more time being a dad and writing on my blog. I purposely avoided starting a new job search to keep the focus on building my business income, hoping to increase that income stream before rejoining the traditional workforce. During my unemployment period, we broke even or worse every month. Family health insurance costs hurt the most. Our net worth stayed mostly flat, fluctuating some with the markets. I disliked the lack of progress. 2 months after losing my job, I found an ideal position on LinkedIn. I applied and got the job within 2 months. It was the only application I submitted. On the day I received the offer in writing, I was overcome by relief and laziness. Knowing there was a steady paycheck in my future diminished my drive to create. Unhealthy addiction. A steady job with a good salary is supposed to be a coveted financial blessing and the key to achieving what many perceive to be the American dream. But at some point, the comfort of a salary might be holding you back from something bigger, like owning a business or extensive global leisure. When you're in the early wealth building phase, growing your salary is the most effective way to accelerate earnings. But mid-career, without ownership opportunities or a clear path to promotion, it's easy to get stuck in a lackluster salary growth trajectory. Salary increases greater than 3 to 5% become rarer for mid to late career employees as significant percentage increases become too costly for the employer. To escape the salary ceiling, you can position yourself for a promotion, not always an option. Find a new job, or start your own business. Starting a business won't increase your income in the short term, but your earning potential is infinite. A recent article over at 4 Pillar Freedom about not earning a salary included the following quote, which inspired the title for this post. Quote, "The 3 most harmful addictions are carbohydrates and a monthly salary." End quote. That's from Nassim Nicholas Taleb, author of The Black Swan. A salary is like an unhealthy addiction when viewed through the lens of an entrepreneur. The safety and serenity of a steady salary might be holding us back from our greatest potential, or at least our ideal lifestyle. I'm sure that quote is all over Silicon Valley and the top business schools for entrepreneurs. But those of us in pursuit of early retirement have a different mindset. We're not desirous of the riches of entrepreneurship. We seek control and enough money and passive income to reclaim financial autonomy. In this context, a salary is a dependable means to an end. Utilize the steady income to invest and grow assets to attain independence from full-time employment. The meat market. A new family moved into our neighborhood when I was about 8 years old. The dad opened a butcher shop and grocery nearby. He must have invested his life savings into the store and borrowed a bunch too. When I first met the dad, he caught me staring at his missing fingers. He beamed with pride as he offered me a closer look at his nubs, then proceeded to boast that losing only 2 finger parts was a good record for someone in the trade for as long as he was. We didn't shop there much, but I remember pig carcasses hanging from the ceiling in the back and the ubiquitous smell of blood throughout the store. He was passionate about carving up animals for food and followed his passion into the depths of entrepreneurship. That's what we're supposed to do, right? Follow our passion? Looking back, I realized what an extraordinary risk he took, moving his family and opening a storefront on his own. He put everything on the line. The business didn't last. My neighbor, the butcher, closed up shop within 5 years, and the family moved away. Imagine how stressful that period of his life must have been on his marriage and family. The journey into entrepreneurship is risky enough, let alone adding a family into the mix. As someone who chose not to make my passion a full-time endeavor, I can relate. Constraints. Even with a relatively sizable financial backstop in October 2017, I wasn't willing to put everything on the line to become a full-time finance writer and blogger. It seemed too uncertain and stressful when I contemplated the idea as a sole breadwinner. Full-time blogging was never my goal when I started writing. I needed a creative escape from my humdrum day job and hoped to earn a side income for my efforts. My primary goal is to retire entirely before age 55. Since starting a family, I've felt that the most reliable and low-stress path to early retirement is a steady salary and benefits, coupled with saving and investing a large portion of what I earn to become financially independent over time. This strategy is working, and I believe I'm now on the path of least resistance to reach my goal. Before I had a family, I felt the same way, but I was short-sighted. That's when I should have more aggressively considered self-employment or entrepreneurship to amplify my wealth potential. I almost did. Around the time I was getting serious about changing careers to become a financial planner, I bought my first home. I soon realized the purchase was a mistake when the suffocating mortgage payments crippled my lifestyle. I could barely afford my home, let alone start my own business. Then came the real estate and financial crisis, and the next decade of my life unfolded. Had I avoided home ownership in 2006, things might have turned out differently, but the fear of failure held me back more than anything. A salary isn't enough. People tend to spend most of what they earn. It's hard to believe, but 78% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. That means that by putting aside a small amount of money each month, you're out saving 78% of the population. That statistic may give you the warm fuzzies, but it's not enough to build real wealth. I've consistently highlighted the importance of building multiple income streams for several reasons. 1. Security. If you lose your salary-paying job, it helps to have other income sources in place. 2. Flexibility. With multiple income streams, you have more options when making career decisions. 3. Wealth creation. Multiple income streams accelerate your wealth-building prowess. And 4. Compounding. Compound interest is what will ultimately make you wealthy, not your salary. Even people with high salaries need to save and invest to be able to retire. A $200,000 plus salary doesn't mean much if there's nothing left at the end of the month. High-income earners tend to find uses for most of their income, be it a car payment, private school tuition, or a country club membership. The utility of income is relative to spending. So it's not your earnings, it's what portion of the earnings you save that determines your ability to grow wealth. When you learn to live on less than what you make, you can retire with fewer assets so long as you maintain spending levels. It all starts with a salary. Though not enough to build wealth alone, it's a solid foundation and not an unhealthy addiction for most of us. However, as you gradually accumulate assets and more significant income sources, unleashing you from reliance on a full-time employer, recognize that there may be more compelling opportunities waiting for you outside of the corporate office. If you're uncomfortable with the idea of giving up a salary but still desire something outside of your career, experiment on the side. Your boss will never know. You just listened to the post titled, "Is Your Salary an Unhealthy Addiction?" by Craig Stevens of retirebeforedad.com. If you run a business, you know that having reliable vendors is non-negotiable. Whether you need office snacks, holiday gifts, or wholesale ingredients, you can rely on Nuts.com for delicious products delivered when you need them. Nuts.com is your one-stop shop for the highest quality foods for business. They offer delicious office snacks, corporate gifts, and wholesale ingredients, and over 50,000 companies choose Nuts.com for their business needs. From offices to hotels to restaurants and retail stores. And we've even loved their product as remote workers. Nuts.com has sent us plenty of snacks that keep us energized and focused so we can deliver the best work we can. Nuts.com makes ordering for your business quick and easy. Right now, Nuts.com is offering new business customers a free gift with purchase and free shipping on orders of $125 or more at nuts.com/OWD. So go check out all of the delicious options at nuts.com/OWD. You'll receive a free gift and free shipping when you spend $125 or more. That's nuts.com/OWD. Labor strikes, climate change, your beat-up office printer. What do they all have in common? Come on, it's all about the money. Economics is everywhere and everything, fueling our lives even where we least expect it. If you're a fan of Optimal Work Daily and are curious to learn something new and exciting about economics every week, I recommend you listen to the Planet Money podcast from NPR. Planet Money is a different kind of world where the complex economy actually makes sense. Listeners can learn, laugh, and be entertained. And I find it to be really educational too. Money can be confusing, and Planet Money is great at providing straightforward explanations for how money is really moving in ways we're usually kept in the dark about. The Planet Money team lives to tell a good story in around 30 minutes. It's econ for the rest of us. So tune into Planet Money every week for entertaining stories and insights about how money shapes our world. Stories that can't be found anywhere else. Listen now to Planet Money from NPR, wherever you get your podcasts. And thank you to Craig for letting us share his post today. Craig Stevens is a 43-year-old IT professional, investor, and blogger based in the Washington, D.C. metro area. When he started the blog, his primary financial goal, as he mentioned in this post, was to retire at age 55. That's 1 year before his dad retired. Hence the name of the blog, Retire Before Dad. He writes about how to build income streams so you can explore the unusual. Craig's first love is his beautiful wife and 3 kids, and his second love is travel. Combining both in early retirement is the ultimate goal and his primary motivation for financial independence. So come by retirebeforedad.com to learn a lot more, and again, thank you to Craig for letting us share his work. Okay, that is it for another edition of Optimal Work Daily. Hope this post was helpful for you today, and I'll be back tomorrow where we're going to hear from Brian Tracy about finding a new job. So hope you'll join me there in the Wednesday show where your optimal life awaits.